Hello. When I say I'm Lebanese, many people associate that with food served mostly at vegan restaurants. However, there's more into the Lebanese culture than hummus and falafel. This video will provide an overview of the Lebanese education, and you will get to know more about the Lebanese culture. So let's start. In Lebanon is divided into three phases: preschool, basic or primary education, and secondary education. Students do not select classes. However, in secondary schools, students can choose one out of 4 tracks: literature and humanities, and this includes language, literature, history, philosophy, education, arts, and religion. The second track is sociology and economy, which includes economic sciences, politics, business and management, law, and sociology. The third one is general sciences, which includes mathematics, physics, chemistry, and their application at the level of engineering. The fourth track is life sciences and includes biology, chemistry, and their application in the area of medicine, health, agriculture, and other related subjects. Education is free in Lebanon, and the compulsory age is from 3 to 14, being the primary cycle. The main language is Arabic. However, many schools teach 3 languages, and English and French are introduced early in primary schools. There's a lot of emphasis on teaching languages in schools, and the education law requires that schools teach at least 10 hours of reading and language arts every week. In addition, math and scientific subjects like physics, chemistry, biology are to be taught in English. Why the emphasis on teaching languages? One, because Lebanon has been always open to other cultures. Two, it's because of the ethnic and diversity and the influence of other cultures on Lebanon. And 3, because languages opens possibilities and provide career opportunities for the Lebanese people. What is important in the Lebanese educational system is the multicultural education. Multicultural education is incorporated into the curriculum, and instruction focuses a lot on cultures outside Lebanon, and it gives information about different cultures and people from different cultures. About different cultures are incorporated in different subjects like reading and language arts, history, geography, English literature, French literature, history of Arabic scientists as well. It is really important to teach multicultural education, especially in an increasingly globalized world. Multicultural education provides opportunities for students to view information from a variety of perspectives, and this encourages students to be more interested in other people and in other cultures and be active participants in democratic society. Lebanese students are required to take 2 state tests, the brevet and the Lebanese baccalaureate. The brevet takes place at the end of the 9th grade, and the Lebanese baccalaureate takes place at the end of the secondary education. Passing the brevet is essential to be promoted to secondary education, and also passing the Lebanese baccalaureate is essential to enter university or technical schools. Not having too many tests, I think, is beneficial for students and for teachers. It's strengthen the teachers' collaboration and community engagement. There are so many examples of innovation schools in Lebanon, and this is because the teachers do not teach for the tests. This creates powerful child-centered learning environment. I'm gonna share one example, a good example on innovation in one of the Lebanese schools now.
Chediak is a biology teacher at this secondary school in Beirut. Using all her energy and willpower, she got students involved in a project which went to win international acclaim.
I have been teaching for 7 years, using the same content and the same style. And I felt I wasn't advancing, so I started taking risks and trying new methods in the classroom. And when I felt the students interacting and teaching me new things, I was encouraged to take more risks. So I found myself inventing a new method, which involves encouraging students to run after education, and then education runs after them. I was trying out my own way of concentrating on the skills that the students will need in the job market. I took a very dry subject, paper pollution, a subject which students weren't interested in learning, and teachers weren't even interested in teaching. We made students research information which we didn't have, and when they realised that they had to produce new information, they were more excited. Then I made them use a real problem-solving method, dealing with real life and real problems. By talking to environmental associations, they became more motivated to make good use of paper and be careful about recycling. Now they have a Facebook page and a website which contains all their research in order to raise awareness about paper pollution. Since then, they've been organising an annual paper collection campaign at school.
The public sector suffered heavily because of the civil war and because of the poor funding due to corruption. The public schools are of low quality compared to private schools. Learning there is a little bit passive, and students depend a lot on memorization. Also, the classrooms are inequipped. They have very poor lighting and no air conditioning systems. Therefore, parents who can afford sending their kids to private schools would do so, and the Lebanese parents invest a lot in the education of their kids. Recently, many non-governmental organizations from local communities and as well international organizations have stepped up to take the role of the government in improving the public education and public schools.
Teach for Lebanon says that poor quality teachers are also a problem. So they recruit qualified university graduates and now have 22 new employees working in 13 schools all over the country. Saha Mashmushi, who teaches Arabic and theatre studies, is one of them.
The students' educational levels are very low, and they need help in every way from A to Z. We are here to encourage students to express themselves. I make them free so that they can bring out their potential. We have lots of students who have great potential, and we are trying to bring out the best in them.
Lebanon, and especially Beirut, the capital, served as an educational center for the region for a long time. However, while the public sector suffered heavily because of the civil war, the private sector recovered fast and retained its high standards. Lebanese people still have a negative attitude toward public schools. Therefore, many Lebanese parents, and because they hold high reverence for education, they invest a lot in the education of their kids. They believe that education will provide their children with opportunities to better their future. Lebanese parents are involved in their children's education, and they have regards to their teacher, and they strictly adhere to their recommendations. Private sector depends on secular schools and in schools supported by wealthy Islamic nations and various Christian religious communities, Western clerics, French, Anglo-Saxons, Germans, and Italians. Many of the private schools in Lebanon provide extracurricular activities, and they have also the resources which enables them to adapt quickly to challenges. A good example is how the private schools were able to switch smoothly to the online modality. They already had online instructional programs for reading in Arabic and in foreign languages, and as well for mathematics and sciences. Teachers were able to create teams, do their virtual classes, and students also were able to take their tests and quizzes online. So instruction, unlike in public schools, instruction in private school was not interrupted. Given the estimated population of Lebanon at 6 million, the 1.5 million Syrian refugees make Lebanon the country with the highest number of refugees, with one refugee for every 4 nationals. There are around 480,000 Syrian refugee children in Lebanon. They live in refugee camps below the poverty level. More than half of the refugee children are enrolled in public schools, 70% in the afternoon shift. United Nations agencies dedicated to serve refugees are managing educational programs in collaboration with the Ministry of Education. The majority of the international organizations who work with refugees focus on community interventions and volunteers from local communities to accommodate the increase in enrollment. Around 1,260 public schools in Lebanon accommodate Syrian children in the morning shift, and 350 schools run a second shift. Community-based classes in English and French has started in October 2017. The language classes are taught by volunteering Lebanese university students to boost the language skills of the Syrian children and enable them to follow the public school curriculum and stay in school. Community volunteers are also assigned to the second shift schools, while child protection cases and children at risk of dropping out are referred to specialized agencies aiming at increased school retention. UNICEF has worked with community non-governmental organizations as well. They help build a trusting relationship and meet children's immediate
Performing for their parents on the last day of summer camp, these children are amongst the fortunate few who escaped the deadly violence in Syria. Starting their lives all over again in Lebanon, they're slowly beginning to feel at home in their new school. The summer camp here at the Saad Nayal Public School was organized by UNICEF and its partners with the aim of helping Syrian refugee children ease into a different system of education. And one of the first lessons was learning a new language. Researcher Nazir Ghanim has been assessing the psychosocial needs of the refugees. He spent a lot of time with the children in school, listening to their concerns and fears.
The most important problem facing Syrian students is that they come from a different educational system based on one language. The educational system in Lebanon is bilingual, English and Arabic. The second issue is the discrimination and sensitivity between Lebanese and Syrians. Then come the financial problems, tuition and schools.
He says over the last 5 weeks, there have been visible changes in the attitude of the Syrian students, and most importantly, they've been extremely receptive to learning.
The Lebanese official educational system is outdated and ineffective. Lebanon's education depends for the most part on the private sector. Private schools maintain their high standards. They foster capacity building that gives students the necessary communication skills and other life skills like problem solving and decision making. This gives the Lebanese students a competitive advantage in the global market. The education system in Lebanon supports community involvement and active citizenship. There's a wide range of initiatives and programs accommodated by non-governmental organizations to support public schools. These initiatives target both Syrian and Lebanese children. Thank you.